I bring you another amazing speaker. Oops, no, I meant to do this. Another amazing speaker, one of my favorite coaches, Robert J. Moore. I think there's not a whole lot here for me to say other than the great Robert J. Moore will now speak.
That's good. Never had an introduction like that before.
I know, right? Here you go. Take it away, Robert.
I'm a little worn out today, but I'm good. I'm here. I'm stiffer on a board. I had to restructure my office and do some stuff outside, plus work at the same time. So I'm Robert J. Moore. Those who don't know me, authenticity is something I live by. And what do I mean by that is because I got a past that a lot of people think they can't use their past to upgrade their future, and they can. Everybody has a story. Everybody became a leader in their own way, in their own right. And how I did mine was I was an alcoholic drug addict living on the streets. Well, a young fella. I was working for the wrong type of people, kicking in doors, and did 17 years in the prison and 7 years on the streets. But you know what? I'm not ashamed of that. What I'm ashamed of is not telling people sooner about it, because you know how many people look at me and sit there and say, "Oh, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand." They don't know what the person knows unless they ask. Like when I was first started working with Marianne, I didn't know she was in a war. I didn't know that until she told me. When she started hearing my story come out, that's when she felt open enough to say, "Hey, listen, this is what I've been through, and I know it's okay to say it now. It's all right to tell people this." And it helped bring her up, because you're using authenticity to bring people to that level. Giving people the chance to look at their values and not their ego. The values of living that way, that's got to be hard. You're in a bomb shelter, for crying out loud, she was. Like when you're in that kind of area, that's got to be scary shit. Just like myself, I was stabbed with a 12-inch blade. Woke up in the hospital, I had handcuffs on me, both sides, and I had 44 staples. I didn't know what was going on. And I was charged with attempted murder at the same time. But the crown said she couldn't figure it out, so she just let that one go at the end. But like I said, I did a lot of interesting things to put myself in and out of jail. And I couldn't live by society. I didn't want to live by the rules. I didn't want a leader. I wanted to be the leader, but I didn't know how. So when I went and got clean and sober, I started really facing down to those emotions of what I was. And every time I did something, it would become the anger, because I didn't like the way I was. I didn't like the way I felt. So I didn't know how to adapt to it. So I just put anger in there. When I went to the treatment center, they stripped me of all my emotions and rebuilt them so that I can actually understand them. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's true, because we went through everything in my life that was going on. I poured it all out every time we'd see them. And we'd look at it as, okay, you're looking at the emotion this way when you're looking at it the wrong way. So they redirect each emotion that we had to build that. Now, I'm only giving you this because it's a back end story that leads me to where I am now. So when I started going to AANA, it was interesting because I went there with an ego. But at the same time, I didn't know how to cope there because I was sober. I don't know how to cope when I'm sober at the time. I went there the first day. I met a guy. The guy looked at me and said, "Who's your sponsor?" I said, "What the hell's a sponsor? What do you mean sponsor?" I said, "Who wants to sponsor me?" I'm thinking like Coca-Cola or something like that. He wasn't talking Coca-Cola. They have a sponsor for everybody to help direct them in the right way. He goes, "Well, here, write down my phone number." He wrote down my phone number on a pack of smokes. And he says, "You're calling me tomorrow night. Call me daily at that time." I said, "Who the heck is this guy?" We almost got into a fight and went around back. And I found that he's an ex-biker. And so we got along pretty good. We understood each other. And he helped me through some pretty hard times. Helped me through the times I need to get up and get going and start seeing things differently. So that was a great leader in that area. Now I had to learn how to be the leader myself. So doing that wasn't easy because, as you know, I'm 30 years in the making of being a drug addict, alcoholic, and a criminal. So I went to school. I didn't know how to do that either at first. I'll tell you why. I got in there and I got to be in school with people 15, 20 years junior to my age. And they're all talking about the big party they had last night. And you're 3 months clean and sober. You could easily go back and have a wobbly pop. You know what I mean? But I didn't. So when I went out for a smoke the one time, the guy was just pressing his luck. He's just kind of pushing me, like, hey, listen, let's go out tonight. Let's go have a wobbly pop or whatever. That's a beer. And I just kept saying, no, 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 no. Finally, he wouldn't shut up, so I backhanded him. And he flew a little bit, but he got the point that I don't want to be there. So that was the last person I actually basically almost knocked out. He was out the wind. So I ended up getting my social service worker diploma, my grade 12 first, my social service diploma, my addictions degree, my BA in psychology, my master's in counseling psychology, my harm reduction, mental health crisis, 2 honorary doctorate degrees. It became an addiction to me. But the reason why I don't have them hanging on my wall or anything behind me is, I'll tell you why. I do got my Forbes or Guinness World Record over here, and I'll tell you the reason for that is because I don't need people to know what credentials I have. If they want to know, they can ask. It starts a conversation. It keeps conversation open. I use all them tools that I had in school not to sit there and try and study other people. It was to study me, to figure out why I was acting the way I was. How do I become a better person? How do I become that leader? How do I become the person that for the last 20 years or so I've been seen on the front cover with handcuffs? You know what I mean? How do I get out of that vision and put myself in a different vision? Well, I've learned that. I learned how to do that. And then at the same time, I learned how to read body language. So I could read people's body language and sit there and allow them to understand themselves too. Because what happens is when you're sitting there looking at the body language, looking at the physiology of the face, which is the expressions and everything else, where they're tilting their head, where they're up, forward, back, the tone of voice, the body language, the shoulders and everything else. You learn all that stuff. When you're learning that stuff and you're sitting there helping a person out, you know how to help them because you know when they feel uncomfortable. When they start feeling uncomfortable, I could ask the question differently, reverse psychology, and you get the same answer, believe it or not, and they become calmer and they become everything. But you go into some of these places that it goes to their head, oh, I'm a therapist. Okay, well, you're a therapist, big deal. And they talk over your head like, this is boring. They don't come to your level. I always came to the person's level. I came to the person's level to try and understand where they're at. I try and deal with the core issues, not to bandage it. That was the difference with me. That's why I couldn't work with a team. So I had to open my own business as a therapist and a counselor. And that's the only reason why I did that at first is because of that. So it ended up allowing me to be upfront, allowing me to be seen in a different value. And then I didn't even know the value of me. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just taking a bunch of classes, bunch of stuff at the time, and I was hoping for the best. When it finally came down to I want to be a coach, I tried all different ways. And the marketing, I was bad. I remember my first speaking gig. It was in a room. I rented out the room. I got someone there with $300 worth of food, and there was a lot of food. And I thought for sure at least 100 people were going to come. You know how many people showed up? 4. 4 people showed up, and all 4 of those people were basically speakers. Not a soul else, nobody else. So what we did was, in order to, let's deal with this in a proper manner. Let's put all the food in the empty chairs so the whole room didn't sound like it was hollow. You know what I mean? So we put them all in the different chairs, put the potato salad here, this, that over there, different chairs, the coats in different areas. And I got all four of them sit right beside each other, front and back. So we had the camera behind them to look at it, and then me speaking up there. And I'm looking over at the potato salad, and they say, "Oh, I see you nodding your head over there. So you agree with that?" I said, "What parts, and I just have a little conversation with them." You couldn't hear them because the mic was on me, right? And I mentioned that too. I said, "I'm sorry, you can't hear the person because the mic's over here." Right. But I'll reiterate, and I did. And overall, at the end of that, I got all four of those people to sit there and say nice things about what went on. And now that looked like we had a packed room because of the way we did it and the way we said it. I mean, I said straight forward, it was a packed room. It was packed. It was packed with potato salad and, all the different foods that we had. So I wasn't lying. But next time I went to do it again, I had 25 people show up next time, right? And I was only asking for 50 at this time. So I had 25 people. So I said, okay, I'm doing something right here. And I'm showing the value of what I need to show to these people, which is a solution to their problem. That solution to each and everybody's problem, you have to find that out. So when a person comes to you, what's their situation they're in and how you get them out? I've had people come to me and say, "Oh, I've done marketing for years. And I know all about this. I know all about that." Well, I used to think that way too with marketing. One of my coaches right now is Armin Morin, one of the top strategists in the world for marketing. When I went to his house, sat in his place there, and we had a big class come in, I thought I knew everything to that moment. That's when I realized, if you're the smartest person in the room, get the hell out. Straight out. If you're the smartest person in that room, you got to get out of there, because there's always room for learning. You need to keep learning. So even today, I still learn. I still do things today that try and keep myself moving forward, try and clean my mind. And, I'm not negative like it was before, but I'm also 20 years clean sober and done a lot of work on me in order to empower other people. So one of the things I love about empowering other people is, I don't need the credit for helping them. I just need them to understand. So even when I was working with Marianne, I mean, when you see that glare on her, that she understood and utilizing that stuff that I just said, and it's working, that's good enough for me. I don't need to be, "Oh yeah, Robert. You know what I mean? That other people will give you the credibility. I don't need to say it myself. You would be amazed the amount of people out there that talk about you, either good or bad. But remember, the bad ones, okay, there's two ways to look at that. When someone's talking negative about you, it means, one, you're doing something right. All right. One, you're doing something right. If you don't have somebody talking bad about you, you're not doing something right. You know what I mean? So, and I'm sorry, a little different from most people. I said, well, that's always good. I said, let's have an understanding of what you're talking about. It's my understanding she was sitting there saying that her father was with the mafia. And I said, okay, well, how's that scare me? You know what I mean? She goes, that doesn't scare me. I said, no. I said, I've known quite a few mafia people, so why would that scare me? I mean, I used to help them out. I mean, like, the only way you're going to scare someone away, even if you are scared to work with a person, I mean, if they have a background that you're not familiar with, it's a learning curve. You both learn together. So when I see that person, even Amanda on here, when I coach her at times or talk to her at times, when she understands, I mean, you can hear it in her voice and you can see it in her face that it's a clear understanding. Some of the people I've worked with, I mean, Les Brown's daughter, I've also coached. I've coached some pretty nice people. I've coached people right from the ground up. And I'm not doing that to brag. I mean, I have been featured in Forbes. I have been in Guinness World Records. I've got mass amount of awards. I just won an award a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, for this one right here. It's just called the Canadian Choice Award. It's one of the top business coaches in Belleville, Ontario, which is where I live. I don't do that to brag. I mean, if anybody comes in my office, you can't see it because it's behind the door, right? I don't put those ones out. I put the Forbes and that out. And obviously I got my punching bag and stuff here because I'm in martial arts with my son to help him out, guide him at the same time as well. Sometimes you just got to, stretch and do things, but I'm stiff. I'm stiff right now. It's all good. So here's the thing. Here's what I want to tell you something. When you're looking at your back end story and you say, well, I don't know what to talk about. You got lots to talk about. How did you get over those rough times? How'd you make it through the best times of your life? How'd you sit there and learn what you had to learn? Did you learn from everybody just being positive? Or did you watch people and sit there and say, okay, that's negative. I don't want to do that. It's a simple thing. In order to be a leader, I got to tell people, look, I'll help you with a solution to that problem. I mean, you always have to have a solution. If you have a solution, you could be a leader. You could be a leader anytime you want. But you also got to stick in your ram. I mean, a lot of people I know, they'll sit there on their websites and everything. They'll sit there and say, oh, I deal with this, this, and this. That's fine. Stick with it. Don't sit there and go out of your way and start saying a whole bunch of other stuff. See, I got next level coaching. Underneath that is Robert J. Moore, the speaker. And I got AI stuff down here, different stuff. Like I got if you ever want to, hey, if you want a freebie of building your business, and you just write it in this comment here. Write it in the comment here. I will send you 7 AI agents that'll help build your business like there is no tomorrow. And I'm not even joking. I will literally send it free. You know what I mean? Like, you just put it in there, whoever wants to try it out. And I'll tell you right now, I've had a lot of people go through this, and it's helped a lot of people. What it is it's connected to ChatGPT. I built all the back end. Took me, it's 2 years in the making. It's 2 years. Yeah, Amanda got hers. I mean, she's loving it. And I'll tell you something right now. 2 years in the making, I finally had to put all that code and everything else in the back of ChatGPT. So then I put it in there. So what you do is you open up your own account. You don't have to pay for anything in ChatGPT. You can use the free version and you just follow the prompts. They do all the heavy lifting. You just tell them what your business is about. It's all about the marketing. It's all about, how to do everything and anything. Like, you wouldn't believe the stuff that you can get out of this. It is absolutely. And then at the end, the bonus one, number 7, I'll be honest with you, it's like CEO in the pocket. It keeps you 1 to 3 years or 1 to 4 years in advance of your competitors. It's giving you all the information to keep ahead of the game, teaches you how to market, teaches you how to do things. And that's part about being a leader too, is learning how to do other things, but implementing them in your business that you talk about and you like to be the leader of. Me as a leader, I get a lot of credibility. I win a lot of awards. People see me doing things. I don't have to brag about it. I don't have to tell them about it. They see what I do. Right? Why? Because I am putting it on social media. Why? Because I put it on there, not to brag. I put it on there because I feel achievable. Right? I achieved something. That's a real good thing to have. I've spoken on stages with Les Brown, Bob Proctor. When Bob Proctor was alive, I'll tell you something. There was Les Brown. Okay, he went first. I got called up next. And I was a bit nervous because here I am speaking after Les Brown. And then I didn't know who was speaking behind me, like after me. So I spoke, and then next thing you know, they called Bob Proctor up there. I said, oh boy, this is awful, man. It's great. I love it. The fact that I'm squashed in the middle. But what he said kind of blew my mind. He looked around the room and he asked me to come up on stage with him. I did. And he says, I want to say something. He goes, I have a hard time standing on the stage after you spoke. I said, why? I thought maybe he was going to cry or something. I don't know. Like, I didn't know what was going on. Maybe a touch of nerve with him. Anything's possible. He said to me, no. He says, the reason why is because I don't like getting up on stage after a good speaker. He said, I don't want to ruin it. He goes, you were powerful. You were amazing. For him to say that and then call me an icon, boy, that's a treat. That's a treat and a half right there. and then be endorsed by Satish Verma, the CEO and president of Think and Grow Rich, and be like certified by him, endorsed by him many times. These are people that I met as friends now. Before they were like, I put them on a pedestal. The reason why I put them on the pedestal, because I didn't think I could reach that goal. I didn't think I could reach up that level. But guess what? You keep being you. You keep working on you. And don't worry about what other people think or say. But you don't have to brag about it. All you have to do is just keep working on you to build yourself up in order to empower those people that you're dealing with. When you're looking at someone else, put yourself in their shoes. Come to their level. Don't talk over their head. Look, I asked first, okay? I was talking to a person when I very first started doing coaching and that. I said, should I do coaching or what should I do? And I'm all about psychology. So I started putting a package together with psychology and that. And it's like, boy, people are running away from me. I mean, I was talking about hippocampus, the frontal cortex, and they're like, what do we need this for? This ain't going to do nothing for me. But now what I realize is I could use that in my mind. I understand the people. I sit there and listening to them, even when they text or when they write in an email. I can understand the tone that's in there. I can understand if they're hurting, if they're happy, if they're modest, if they're whatever. People don't realize there's tones and stuff like that. It's like people that, that do it for a living, the body language masters. I'm nowhere near that, but I know what I know because, first of all, I used to be a criminal con artist, and I used to read people like crazy, so I know who to go to. So I guess that come in handy, Sometimes it's sad to say, but you use your past to utilize your future. It doesn't matter how bad. No, you didn't go down that road. That's fine. You went down your own road. You hit your own bottom. I can't compare to that. Everybody has their own reason for what they're doing. But I'll tell you something. I empowered and helped a lot of people. I bet you any money, man. I'm at least 200,000-300,000 people I've helped in groups, in singles. I mean, I love working with people. I got a special discount going on right now for the rest of the year. 90% off to be coached. I normally charge like $7,000 a month. I'll do it for like $750 US. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, I will literally do that. And the reason why is because I want to empower more people. I want more people to understand how to get there. Times are tough right now. I don't need to gouge. I need them to have an understanding, a real understanding of who they are, build their foundation, build their structure, help them make it move. When the COVID hit, I put a 0 on the end of my structure of my paychecks. Why? Because I understood what people needed. And it was easier. That's why I'm charged for all my programs right now that I build. I'm only charging $67. I could charge $497, not a problem. But I'm charging $67 because I know it doesn't take me long to build. And I want the people to have the value. There, look at this, eh? Surrounded by Amanda, surrounded by Marianne. Boy, I tell you, get an earful that way, wouldn't I? They're good people, man. You know what? You follow these two people here too, you'll get somewhere. They're both took on learning from me with the companies that they have. Not real estate. I don't know nothing about that. I can't tell you anything about real estate. I could tell you how to kick in the door and how to replace it. I can tell you how to build things in it. Like I built this whole place I'm sitting in right now, but I can't tell you how to sell it. I can tell you how to get.
You build it, I'll sell it.
Hey, also I could tell you how to get rid of people from past tense. I got a persuader here that'll help. But it's definitely. I just want to say my last thing I want to say. First of all, man, those glasses look pretty good on you, man. That's cool. You look good. I like the curly hair. Is cool. You're doing all right, man. From what last time I talked to you, man, you're doing okay. We'll see you Monday, by the way, on a coaching call. But listen, I want to tell you something. Get rid of your damn ego. You know what your ego is? Edging God out. Get rid of that. That's getting you nowhere. Keeps you in the devil's side. Start being humble. Humble with the stuff that's happening in your past, your future, whatever it is. and you'll go somewhere. You'll definitely go places in that perspective. Hey, Rosemary, there's Rosemary. How you doing, Rosemary? Anyways, I hope that was okay there, Marianne.
I'll give you a pass.
I don't even remember what I said. I never do.
It's all good. I know. Actually, Robert is very, very, very good at authenticity because I don't think he knows how to be anybody else other than himself. So thank you so much for.
I one thing about me I must say is, and you all both, everybody here knows, I'm a straight shooter. I won't care about your emotions. I'll tell you, I care more about your business than your emotions.
Oh God, that's so
We'll deal with the
true.
emotions later. What's that?
That's so true. But the way I said it was, oh God, that's so true. Yes, be prepared.
It's
Be
well worth
prepared
it
to
though.
take criticism really well. Anyways, he does care about your business. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for sharing all of your new things you're doing and everything else. He's always doing something new and different, and which is kind of encouraging for me. I won't speak for Amanda, but I know for me for sure. And
I got other things on the go I'm not talking about yet though.
what's really cool is that Amanda and I are now working together as well. So that's the
That's
best part,
beautiful.
right? I don't think
Okay, ladies.
ask
Okay,
for
ladies.
anything more.
I'm gonna go travel. I got some
Have a great
business to
day.
take care of. Yeah, I got another call to take right now.
Okay, cool. Thank you so
Cheers.
much. Have a great day.
It's a pleasure.